Right now, for this segment, we have Shaun Murphy. He's the CEO of the Worcester Majors. Welcome, Shaun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So before we talk about the exciting news about Worcester Majors and let everyone know about the Worcester Majors, I want to hear a little bit about yourself. You have a very interesting story. So you gave me a present before the show. I think it's a signed book. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm really excited.
Right.
So tell us about yourself.
Yeah, man, long story, but I wear many hats. Army vet, spent 8 years in active duty in the Army, published author, motivational speaker, musician, spoken word artist, founder of a nonprofit, dope dad, and married to medicine. And my newest role is CEO of the Worcester Majors, where I took over for the local semi-pro basketball team. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm really excited. So why don't you tell us about the Worcester Majors? You know, you've stepped into leadership for them in a really pivotal time. So tell us about the Worcester Majors.
Yeah, well, it's funny, you know, how life works. You know, sometimes these opportunities just fall in your lap, and I had no vision of like being in leadership for the team. I wanted to kind of like be an investor and then support it as operational leadership. But took over as CEO, and now I had the opportunity. I'm blessed to be able to like build out this vision, right? And it's bigger than basketball, right? I wanted to create something that's community, foundationally sound, where it's about impact. How do we help in, especially our youth, right? Giving our youth young dudes to look up to. You know, some of our youth and families can't afford to go see the Celtics play, so we could have that same experience locally and have them a part of it. So I'm being super intentional on infusing families, culture, diversity, and all these components that make up Worcester as part of our vision as we go forward.
And we have so many great local sports teams that I think have really contributed to the culture of Worcester, definitely economically, but also socially. I mean, they're safe places for our kids to go. We have the Worcester Railers, the Woo Sox. Are you looking to them for inspiration for how you're going to provide the Bravehearts?
Great segue. So I've met with all of them. And the beautiful thing is I met with all the leaderships for all of our local semi-pro entities, and they've been welcoming. You know, the Railers, I toured the building, I met the merchandiser, like several different people, and they're like, no, this is what you need to do. Call so-and-so. So that's been really, it's been a really good thing because when you come in as a new leadership and, you know, it could be territorial, wasn't the case at all. They've been sharing. I was just saying, Matt had something at Holy Cross with the Bravehearts, New England Sports Summit, super dope experience. So definitely shouts out to them. And I think it's an ecosystem, right? And then and it's important that we support each other.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. And I think that, you know, when one of you is strong, you're all strong. And it's just creating more opportunity for more people and making the city bigger and better. And
correct.
That's really great to hear. Those are all, I mean, the Vaccaros are wonderful, great chamber members, the Woo Sox, the Railers. So, you know, you've stepped into this role now as the CEO at a real pivotal moment. You know, I'm a basketball fan, but not, you know, I don't know a lot about basketball. But so for viewers who aren't necessarily sports fans, like, what is the ABA?
Yeah, ABA. Oh, man. So it's the NBA came out of the ABA. I think there's actually a documentary coming out about the rise and fall of the ABA, and you can tap into that. I believe it's on Netflix. You can learn more about just the story. So semi-pro, we're regional, so we'll play teams like Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island. We can go as far as to Buffalo, low down as to Philly, New Jersey. And it just gives guys an opportunity. You know, what I want to do is create the pipeline where you go from, say, post-high school, post-college, you're local, you still want to play ball at a high level, join Worcester Majors, and then I love to create that partnership with the main Celtics, which is the G League, and then from the G League, you got your game on tight, you locked in, you can go to the league. So now that dream becomes real if you create that pipeline. So that's one of my big visions, and you talk about the vision for the team, is to create a pipeline where someone can have these hoop dreams at street ball level, high school level, and have a path to the league that's kind of, you know, not traditional, if you would.
And have you started recruiting for players?
Yeah. So we are going, I like her, it's a dope interview. We are going to be dropping tryout dates here in the next 2 weeks. We're just locking in some venues, but we're gonna have two tryouts. want to bring in some talent. We're getting, influx of emails from people playing like, listen, I'm about to graduate. I want to stay in local and I want to play at a high level. And we're like, okay, bet, add them to the database. So we'll tap in with all the ADs. We'll do a press release so people know about our tryouts.
And this is graduating high school or college?
Correct.
Or, okay, yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So what is kind of this is really exciting because we've seen teams like I've been in Worcester my whole life. We've seen teams like, I was different, like the Bravehearts and how they've grown and the Railers and the Woo Sox. And so what is your kind of vision, like 3 to 5 years, I'd say, for the majors?
Big vision, right? You think 5 years out is to have a hub. The sports hub or our home gym, but it's more than just basketball. It's that community center kind of idea, and not to knock, what's happening already. Just something that we own, that we control, that we can do our programming, and I think it'll be basketball specific. But like again, I wear many hats. I'm also the life coach. I coach young men, young women. How do you go next level? Giving them the tools and the systems for them to have access to resources. And I think us building out our own hub is important. And then we reverse engineer that. You got the coach, you want to win the championship. We want to put Worcester on the map. I really want to. So I'm a Brooklyn dude, and I grew up in the Rucker era, and I'm like, how do we recreate that Rucker energy? It's basketball, it's food, it's culture, it's fashion. Like we like a dope part of this New England story. So how do we amplify that through basketball?
Have you always been a basketball fan?
Oh yeah, back in my day, we used to cut the bottom of the crate out, tied up to the crate ball. What? Great games. You hear me?
Because you're going to be the CEO of this organization, but like, have you ever coached? Like, you seem like you would be a coach.
Yeah, so I've coached, not at a high level, but anything I do is high level if I'm unpacking it right. So I've coached some rec leagues, and I'll tell you just how the energy I bring. I'll tell the students and scholars, I'm here pointing my time. We playing like we AAU. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I would get them their jerseys, their warm-ups so they could feel. Because a lot of these scholars didn't have access, can't afford AAU. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we'll do rec, but we're going to perform at a high level, and I want you to look and feel. So I would invest in the team myself so my scholars know, no, you're a beast. You're going to shoot that thing. So if they show up, they feel good, they look good, they're going to play the part.
And so what do you need from the community of Worcester to help the Worcester Majors succeed?
Love this question. We're building from scratch, right? So we're looking, you thinking when volunteers is big, sponsorship energy, and that can look a lot of different ways, in kind, funding. We definitely need a vehicle, transportation to take our players to away games. Those are some of the immediate things that come to mind. And a lot of the things we're doing, we're looking to like give back. We're grounded in how can we do basketball clinics in the school. We're doing feed the homeless. We started We Serve, Major Serve, Sunday Serve. We did that last Sunday. We dropped off 100 hot plates, so we're super just grounded in the community. And I want to make a plug too, because as you know, as the Worcester Majors, our name is not just about greatness. We're grounded in the roots. We think about Major Taylor, black world champion cyclist, who lived at a time where society told him he couldn't be that. So we want to embody that. We want to keep that spirit going. Anything we do is grounded in resilience, excellence, representation, and that's the energy we're bringing as a team to Worcester.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So we were talking before the show, and you said that you were very strategic about, there's a season going on right now, and you could have jumped in and said, "Yep, we're here, we're going to do it." But I love that you're being so strategic about it, and you're saying, "Let's sit back, let's have everything in place before we start a successful season." So that is going to be October?
Yeah, so October we go live, preseason September. Like I said, we'll have the 2 tryouts in the summer. We're going to do some open runs so we can see talent. We're going to do some, shouts out to Barbosa and Details Basketball. We'll partner with them. Some 1v1 tournaments, exposure, get our name out there. But yeah, in leadership, I have the luxury or not of looking at it from the ground level. Players just want to play.
Yeah.
but it's a business we're running, you know, so I can't just go to market. You know, are these things in alignment? And, you know, we've gotten pushback for not starting the season, and that's fine. I'll shoulder all of that. But at the end of the day, I have to bring the product to market that's going to be a great representation of Worcester, a great representation of the team and myself. And that's kind of where we're at. And I'm super excited for where we are now as opposed to 6 months ago. You know, so, you know, for the woo, we ready.
I can't wait, and I hope that everyone watches this interview and they're just as excited for a new sports team to come here. If they find you, how do they find you? How do they learn more?
Yeah, definitely tap in www.worcestermajors.org. You can tap in. We're on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. Feel free. You want to volunteer? Sign up sheets in the bio, and we'll welcome, you know, any help and assistance. Definitely tap in with me.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.